While others waste energy creating barriers and holding people back, 50 Cent operates by an entirely different code. Focused, relentless, and impossible to ignore, he transforms every obstacle into motivation, elevating those around him as he moves forward and proving that real influence comes not from blocking success, but from empowering others to reach it.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the...
Tension is rising across the entertainment industry as Beyonce appears to be considering a major strategic move following 50 Cent's announcement of a follow-up documentary exploring long-standing power structures. Long-standing alliances and behind-the-scenes loyalties are now under renewed scrutiny, with attention shifting toward influential figures once seen as untouchable. As public opinion continues to shift and pressure intensifies, speculation about the next chapter keeps growing. Will Beyoncé redefine her public path, distance herself from the controversy, or step away entirely to protect the legacy she has built during this unfolding moment of accountability?
They don't give you the trophies. I got the checks. I didn't get the trophies. Like, Jay got all trophies, man. That's because he signed that contract.
What contract?
The one with Beyonce. If you don't sign, you don't give him a trophy, she ain't coming. Oh,
the Beyonce done ran down on you once, Fifth. Come on.
No, she did worse. She jumped off the thing, off the ledge. I was like, I didn't really know what to do. That's the Jay. If he says the Jay in his face, he'll look at you and go, nah, that happened.
So Beyonce jumped down on you.
She jumped down. Oh, she was like on a windowsill.
Right.
We was in Vegas. She said, come on, I'm talking to her. She jumped down. She was like, and I'm like, wait, what is you doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, girl. Don't come on.
So Hov wasn't there?
I'm talking to Jay.
Talking to Jay.
As soon as I talked to Jay, she jumped down, came over. I said, oh, look at this.
They about to jump you.
You lucky Solange wasn't there.
Yeah, you lucky Solange wasn't there.
Solange was there. I would have had to reboot. Huh? What?
So what did B say, or she was just staring at you?
Nah, she came like she was ready. Like I thought something was going to happen. And I'm like, yo, whoa. She's throwing me off now. Because I don't know exactly how to respond to this. You are still Beyonce. Uh-oh. I'm seeing all this stuff going. She going, what is this guy? I'm like, wait, what happened? I look at Jay, he go.
Jay-Z reportedly recognized that increasing public attention could eventually reach his doorstep, but few expected the sheer amount of material hinted at in the recent documentary series. The project sent waves across the entertainment industry, fueled by claims that a massive collection of unreleased footage exists and that more projects are already in development. According to 50 Cent's public statements, the archive of unseen material is extensive, sparking widespread speculation, growing concern, and intense conversations among some of hip-hop's most powerful figures. Whether any of it will ultimately become public remains uncertain, but one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The era of tightly controlled behind-the-scenes narratives is slowly coming to an end.
We have 50 Cent coming out confirming that he does have more dirt on Diddy that he didn't even get to put in the 4 episodes on the Netflix Diddy documentary. And since it's 50 Cent, it's so hard telling what in the world he all has, but he said this in reference to the video footage that he got of the man recording Diddy before Diddy went to jail. And on top of all of this, he said more people came forward to him with allegations that didn't even make it into this Netflix Diddy documentary. He alluded that he is about to drop this all on YouTube. He sat down to explain some of this on the Sherry Show yesterday, and she said, it shocked a lot of people to see this personal footage of Diddy. I know 50, the way you run. This cannot be all that you have. Is there other stuff that has not been shown? He said, yeah, well, there's some stuff that couldn't make it in because there was only 4 episodes in the Netflix Diddy documentary. And then Sherry asked 50 Cent, does this mean that there's going to be a part 2 of the Netflix Diddy documentary? And he said that he's just going to put it on YouTube. This was not the only time in this interview that this man said this. Like, he is sure on YouTube for whatever reason, and he was even laughing about it. And in my opinion, I feel like why he wants to put this on YouTube is because Netflix probably wouldn't let him put in certain things because of liability. I think this is one of the main reasons why some of the things weren't talked about in the Diddy documentary. But like I said, also, he is cut down to a certain amount of time. Netflix gave him 4 episodes, so so he has to put everything in those 4 episodes. She asked him, out of all of the people that were coming forward, have there been any new tips that you have gotten since it's been released? He said, well, yeah. Everyone starts to feel a little more comfortable when they see other people telling their truth about.
The decades-long rivalry between 50 Cent and Jay-Z has become one of hip-hop's most enduring storylines, defined by their vastly different approaches to influence and leadership. Despite repeated setbacks and constant obstacles, 50 rebuilt his empire again and again, emerging stronger, sharper, and more strategic after every challenge, while the tension between the two quietly continued to grow. Now, as the spotlight shifts beyond personal disputes to the legacies they will ultimately leave behind, the contrast has never been clearer. One path is rooted in exclusivity and control, while the other is driven by resilience, growth, and lifting others along the way.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy going on. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the, you know, the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay, so I think people are just going to say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you got to remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super
you
Bowl?
Know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some haters. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know.
Because of what? Some of the.
I mean,
the
you know, it's competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what 9. What was that? 9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember the whole.
Of course, but 50 was always competition. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You got to remember, he came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we had.
For years, rumors have surrounded influential inner circles operating behind closed doors, where those on the inside are believed to witness far more than the public ever knows. Yet what continues to drive the conversation is the lasting silence surrounding that influence. Ongoing discussions about private gatherings, blurred personal boundaries, and a culture of quiet awareness have raised difficult questions about accountability at the highest levels. Whether driven by self-preservation, fear, or the desire to protect powerful brands, many prominent figures stayed close as controversies unfolded, choosing silence over speaking out. Now, public attention is increasingly focused on the connection between influence and responsibility when extraordinary fame has the power to keep the truth hidden.
Piers Morgan said it. They're not here to defend themselves. Do you think the Carters will speak about any of this? About
Beyonce
what's going on?
Beyonce is losing hundreds of thousands, millions of followers every day. And she still hasn't said anything. Just pretending like life is great in Paris.
Is it her place to say something?
I mean, probably not, considering she's going to be indicted for anything she would say. These are criminals. Diddy is a drug dealer, and so is Jay-Z. The proof is there. How many people does he have to be aware of before people see him for who he is?
It seems like these artists are trying to run away from their past. Diddy changed his name multiple times to say, that's not me. I'm trying to move beyond Diddy. I'm love now.
What kind of love? Baby oil love? Baby love? Explicit love?
What continues to trouble many observers is the broader debate over how young talent is shaped within an industry where professional boundaries have long been questioned. Years of rumors, personal accounts, and public testimony have fueled concerns about serious power imbalances and environments that can gradually normalize unhealthy behavior. When artists achieve extraordinary success at a young age while working under highly influential executives, their perspectives may be influenced in ways that are difficult to fully recognize until much later. As these conversations return to the spotlight, attention is shifting beyond individual figures and toward a wider system that too often places profit and self-preservation above basic human accountability.
People in the industry, been around for a long time. was there when he first started dating Beyonce at 17, 18, he was 30-something. You didn't know his age. When I look back and see how old Jay-Z was, I think Jay-Z was born in like 69 or 67. Something like a 67 right there. 69. I think he was born in 69. Beyonce, they say she was born in 81. You understand? But back then, in 81, when we was in the club together, 98, 99, she wasn't even supposed to be in the club, but she was in the club. It was Club Eugene's. And Jay was dating her. And at that time, if you look at Jay's age, he was about 30 years old. So, isn't she still somewhat a child? To me, she is. But I guess they protect child. That's how you protect a child. You know, dating her at the age of 30-some years old and she's 17, 18 years old. If that's her true age. We really don't know her true age because Gabrielle Union said she went to junior high school with her, and Gabrielle Union is considered 6-7 years older than Beyonce age that she getting. So we really don't know.
To understand why so many view this situation as deeply serious, critics point to the way young artists were introduced into environments shaped by concentrated power, where personal well-being was often overshadowed by commercial ambition. High-profile figures are now being pulled into these discussions, not always as the central focus, but as symbols of an industry that repeatedly failed to protect vulnerable talent. As public scrutiny continues to intensify, influential executives and corporate leaders are facing growing pressure, not only because of long-standing rumors, but because greater transparency may encourage previously unheard voices to step forward and finally share their own experiences.
War has been warning us about Jay-Z. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows.
Gene Deal described both Jay-Z and Diddy as figures who understood the power of influence and leverage long before the public fully recognized it. According to his account, what set them apart most was the way each chose to operate. Diddy embraced a highly visible style of influence, consistently placing himself at the center of attention. Jay-Z, by contrast, was said to prefer a far more calculated and discreet approach, quietly navigating corporate boardrooms and influential business circles. By avoiding unnecessary public spectacle, he positioned himself inside established power networks where influence could be exercised with far less public scrutiny.
It's kind of funny to me, man, is that Diddy used to hate Jay-Z. He hated Jay-Z enough when he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay-Z. This is back in the early 2000s.
Did Diddy always say negative things about Jay around you?
The time he was trying to get Ja Rule to go at Jay, yeah, he was. They worked it out.
Was there a reason behind it?
I couldn't tell you the reason behind it. It was probably because Big had died. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know why he wanted Ja Rule to go at Jay. I guess if he kept them beefing or kept them into some bullshit, he could rise up in between both of them. You know what I mean? it definitely was some snakes.
Gene explained that this strategy is one reason Jay-Z has rarely appeared in situations that leave him publicly vulnerable or exposed to unnecessary risk. From his perspective, Jay-Z's rise was intentional, disciplined, and carefully calculated. While Diddy expanded his influence through constant public visibility and by maintaining a presence in nearly every room, Jay-Z chose a very different route, strengthening his position by limiting access, keeping a measured distance, and selecting opportunities with deliberate precision. One approach depended on constant visibility, while the other was built on patience, control, and long-term strategic restraint.
I know you heard the statement that, Jay lawyer came out with about how he wasn't really friends with Diddy. From your point of view, was they really friends or no?
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it. But I don't know what kind of half a homo that is. And you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So I guess that's a certain type of closeness.
If Jay-Z made one misstep during his otherwise carefully calculated rise, some commentators believe it may have been remaining closely connected to a circle now facing renewed public scrutiny. Former alliances and strategic partnerships are increasingly being examined through a far more critical lens. Relationships once viewed as powerful symbols of influence are now raising difficult questions about their long-term consequences. The situation is a reminder that even the most carefully built empires can come under intense pressure when past decisions are revisited and public demands for transparency and accountability continue to grow.
Jay, the part with Jay, I go, oh shoot, like
To us, black excellence.
that had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's a billionaire brunch.
Oh,
Like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Yeah. Come on, bro.
That's right.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies, those fucking trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that. Jay was getting Grammy.
he had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one.
At the same time.
He got them shits. He's like drinking. His pictures with him like thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Placing trust in the wrong ally may ultimately prove to be the greatest mistake for those closest to the current controversy, as long-standing relationships come under growing legal and public pressure. Connections that once seemed unbreakable are now being viewed as potential liabilities, with the fallout placing increasing strain on the organizations and corporate structures once believed to provide protection. As scrutiny continues to intensify, one recurring pattern rises above the rest: the relentless instinct for self-preservation, even when others are left to deal with the consequences.
Diddy really screwed over Mark Agnifilo. I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to Mark Agnifilo, literally his life, because he could have gotten life in prison were it not for Mark Agnifilo, his defense lawyer, who had a brilliant strategy. And Diddy screwed him over when he hired this videographer to chronicle his life without telling Mark Agnifilo that when Diddy and Mark were on the phone, this videographer was recording what Mark clearly expected to be an attorney-client privileged relationship. Now, it is true that the client holds that privilege. The lawyer doesn't. But Mark's clear expectation was that this was a private conversation. These were private conversations. And that he and Diddy could talk openly. And Mark could talk to Diddy not just as a client, but as a person, and tried to guide him in a time leading up to his arrest. And unbeknownst to Mark Agnifilo, Diddy has got this guy recording the conversation as he's sitting there saying, "You are screwing this up. You are messing up this case. We're losing." And knowing that that's on tape. And it's almost like he's performing for the camera and not telling Mark what's going on.
Reports suggest determined efforts are underway to stop the release of the upcoming documentary, with legal teams questioning how certain materials were obtained and whether they can legally be presented to the public. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's camp insists the content was lawfully acquired from a long-planned project that was eventually abandoned after internal disagreements brought production to a standstill. What started as a private dispute over ownership and compensation has now grown into a much larger conflict, with archived footage emerging as a powerful storytelling tool in an increasingly public showdown.
Getting it is your bonds. Yo, man, how 50 get? Blah, blah, blah. Yo, Puff, take this self doing that. Let me explain something to y'all. All right? Whether it's NBAs, whether it's whatever. When these young boys come in, first of all, he only deal with young videographers because he want to rob them, and he know that they want the opportunity to follow Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. They want that opportunity. So they get him at a low price anyway. But when you stay out so many hours a day, Puff wants a videographer with him 24 hours a day on call. Whether we on a yacht, whether we on a ship, wherever we at, he wants to videotape that, right? So now, they come to agreement. They come to whatever the pay is going to be. But then it be so many hours on that invoice that he don't want to pay. He gets in touch with the office. He gets in touch with the chief of staff. Yo, what is this I'm paying? What is this I'm paying? You know what you paying. You was outside all of these hours. It's 160 something hours in a week. You was outside 140. That's the invoice he put in. So now, being if you got a contract and he don't stand to that contract, guess what happens? He could do whatever he want to do with that footage. So now that footage goes to the highest bidder. And 50 had to be the highest bidder to get there. This is business. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't in love with you. Everybody ain't dedicated. Everybody ain't loyal to the point of stupidity.
Speculation continues to grow that the documentary's release could mark a major turning point, potentially leading to an important personal and professional reassessment for Beyoncé. For years, she has carefully protected her public image, maintaining a highly respected brand through industry controversies that challenged many others. While she has often answered public scrutiny with patience instead of reaction, some observers believe this moment may carry unusual weight, raising questions about whether she will make key decisions to safeguard her independent legacy and the long-term future of her business interests. Public discussion has also fueled continued speculation about the state of her relationship with Jay-Z, although those claims remain unverified.
And Jay-Z have a toxic relationship. He preyed on her when she was just 18 years old. Fans accuse him of grooming her and then later on controlling her every move. At the same time, it's been revealed that he's a cheater and he cannot be trusted.
Public conversation surrounding Beyoncé and Jay-Z's relationship has become increasingly intense, with critics raising questions about influence, trust, and independence within their partnership. Once celebrated as one of music's most iconic power couples, their relationship is now being viewed through a far more critical lens. Industry observers note that Jay-Z is facing a level of public scrutiny unlike anything in his career. For years, his position in popular culture appeared nearly untouchable, but as that perception continues to shift, discussions surrounding his legacy are entering a new and far more closely examined chapter.
Like, it's just odd to see him in that, getting looked at in that way by white people, like Jay does, yeah, like I hope that shit didn't happen, but I'm like, damn, they turned the world real, like people on a certain level have been fucking with him a certain way where he couldn't do no wrong for like 25 years straight. This is the first time he's not getting a pass with white media, like he can control black media because a lot of them either work or do business with him, but like, drink champs can't get him out of this one, and neither can Charlemagne, because those are the guys that hold him down no matter what he do anyway. So you got to get the People magazine and Entertainment Tonight right now, because they on his head. But the question is why? Like, why now? Because for me, I'd be like, yo, that's so ridiculous. Yo, take that to trial. She's not going to win. Let's get a deposition or something, So I don't know why they on his head so much, pause. But I never seen him, under this, I never seen him in this position to have to explain himself. Pause.
How you feel about the statement he came out with?
I mean, I didn't hear him say anything. I heard a piece of, like I said, for me, I'm doing an interview, so I talk. I thought it was long. For a statement, I thought it was long, pause. But, I think right now, his silence is the worst thing for him. If he is innocent, he needs to let people ask him questions, and he needs to be able to say his side of the story, as opposed to letting that lawyer talk. Because that lawyer, I don't trust that lawyer because I went to court with him.
50 Cent recently shared an Instagram teaser hinting at the next chapter of his documentary series. With attention seemingly shifting toward Jay-Z, the preview quickly reignited public speculation, prompting some observers to suggest that Beyoncé may be approaching a strategic crossroads rather than an emotional one. While discretion and a united public image have long helped protect her brand, some believe that if the ongoing controversy begins to affect her own global reputation, creating distance could become a calculated move to preserve her independence, safeguard her long-term legacy, and maintain control over her future career.
That secret little Diddy footage that he paid from the videographer that Diddy didn't pay, they are saying 50 has footage that will not only add more time to Diddy's sentence, but Diddy might not ever come out. Listen up, check this out. Now y'all know that footage that where Diddy is behind the scenes talking to his lawyer and all of this stuff, and people are like, damn, what was Diddy recording it? Well, Diddy was recording it because he thought he was about to beat the case. So he wanted to do a Netflix documentary. Didn't pay the guy, and then 50 got all 140 hours of footage of secret Diddy tactics. Well, there's a guy named Neil who was mentioned in the court, works right up under Diddy, was organizing everything. Allegedly, they are saying that he is on video, film, tampering with witnesses, giving out addresses, offering money, bribing, we'll pay for your lawyers, all kind of shit that could be counted as witness tampering, obstruction of justice. And 50, of all people, has his hands on this footage. And I'm hearing that this could implicate Diddy's lawyers in some bullshit. They could be charged. This is getting wild. And I'm hearing that this 50 Cent documentary is just the tip of the iceberg, and I like it.
What's crazy is this man in this video footage of 50 Cent's post starts talking about a specific name, a man named Neil. And this man goes on talking about how he heard that 50 Cent has this extra footage, but it's footage that could possibly lead to Diddy getting more charges, like witness tampering, obstruction of justice, and more. And what's crazy about the name Neil that he brings up in this is the fact that the other day, Diddy's former chef Jordan, who is somebody that was a witness during this trial, trial who was about to testify against Diddy before the prosecution took back some of their witnesses who were testifying, literally claimed that Neil Dominique, a former assistant of Diddy, is the one that told Diddy that she was subpoenaed to the grand jury at the very start of all of this. She wrote this whole big post to Neil Dominique and tagged him in it and said, "I just want to put this out there because I've been debating how I wanted to handle this situation. Now, I don't know you from a can of paint, but I'm really wondering why you decided to tell Sean Combs that I was contacted by the feds. I saw that you wrote him a good character letter too. Come to find out, you were actually providing Puff with information on a whole bunch of people throughout the case. So my thing is, why were you so comfortable putting me in danger? Why were you so comfortable putting other people in danger? You provided addresses to him. Were you like a double agent working for the feds and Puff?" This is actually crazy because she alleged that Neil Dominique was approached by the feds as well in this investigation into Diddy because he was a former assistant of Diddy.
What surprised Gene Deal most was not the public reaction to the revelations, but the fierce backlash directed at the person bringing them forward. Instead of focusing on the alleged misconduct explored in the project, many critics shifted their attention to questioning 50 Cent's motives and credibility, drawing the conversation away from the underlying issues. For some, speaking out was dismissed as a search for attention, while calls for greater transparency were portrayed as acts of betrayal. In Gene Deal's view, that reaction exposed a deeply rooted industry culture where protecting established power often takes priority over confronting the allegations themselves.
He did, man. Yeah, he got everybody going, man. He's getting a lot of backlash, man. Like, people are like mad at 50 for getting behind this thing.
Well, see, the thing about it is that people are out there rabbit ass mind. And they gonna sit up here and they gonna say some stuff like, they try to make it up like, it's because of a girl, it's because of a woman. A man that can have any woman in the damn world, you understand, go any parts of the world, find beautiful women all over the world, that's willing to do whatever he wants to. I'ma be mad because this dude got this one? Nah, it's bigger and it's more than that. They don't wanna say, a lot of these cats out here don't wanna tell the truth behind shit.
The biggest question now is whether Beyoncé will choose to protect the legacy and business empire she has spent years building, or remain publicly aligned with Jay-Z as legal developments and media attention continue to unfold. At the same time, if the material 50 Cent has publicly claimed to possess is ever released, many believe it could reshape conversations across the music industry. Whatever happens next, the situation is still evolving and this story appears far from over. What do you think happens next? Share your thoughts in the comments below.